And right now, one of the biggest budget items is also one of the most controversial. Why school leaders say Republicans aren't doing nearly enough to help your child succeed.
We're learning more tonight about a murder in western Wisconsin, why police think the man they arrested went after his victims with an axe.
Plus, they're spreading almost as quickly as COVID. Complaints popping up all across Wisconsin about unsafe workplaces during the pandemic.
This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us. We have seen these a lot across Wisconsin recently, but there's no guarantee you, the voter, would approve a school referendum.
Still, districts have had to ask for help 17 times across southern Wisconsin in the last 2 years, 9 of those in Dane County. 2 of those referenda, which are in red, have failed, and that's why schools are pleading with Republicans to boost their funding this budget cycle, hoping to avoid going to referendum in the future. Our Jamie Perez heard from district leaders at a Capitol rally today, and she is live with their message tonight. Jamie?
Well, many of them claim that Wisconsin has a history of providing little to no new funding for K-12 education, and many of them say that this year's budget is a slap in the face. After a year of uncertainty in schools.
Once again, we're staring down a budget that simply upholds a failing status quo when we know that there's more than enough money to do right by every kid in this state.
Many of Dane County's local school district leaders showed up at the Capitol steps this morning, certainly opposed to a portion of the budget that Republican lawmakers crafted for schools.
If this goes through, Madison Metropolitan School District will face a budget cut of nearly $3 million.
Under a Republican-approved plan, the state would cut property taxes, a key school funding source, and use projected extra revenue to help balance it out. MMSD Superintendent Dr. Carlton Jenkins said by not increasing education funding, more money could come out of your pocket through referendums.
Because the revenue limits on school districts are not being loosened much, what they essentially have to do is they have to take that state aid and use it to lower local school property taxes.
Wisconsin Policy Forum Research Director Jason Stein explained that the state budget does include an increase of money spent on schools, but there's a catch. Billions in federal COVID relief can only be spent on certain things.
The flip side of that is, again, we do have a lot of federal aid. It can't be used for everything, but it can be used for a lot of things.
Republican budget leader Mark Bourne pointed to increases in funding for student mental health and education. He added districts will see an extra $2,900 per student thanks to that federal aid as well. But schools are not convinced. They're worried about keeping the status quo or even slipping below it.
Even if this proposal passes and becomes law, that may still sort of reduce districts going to or hold down referenda by districts' voters.
The Assembly is set to take up the budget next week, and we're not exactly sure when the Senate is supposed to look at it again, but Governor Evers has said repeatedly that education is a top priority. So the question then becomes is when this budget bill gets to his desk, what will he do with it? He can use his veto powers to partially oppose some of the budget, or he can reject it entirely. We will keep you updated on those plans going forward.
Jamie Perez live at the Capitol. Jamie, thank you.
People near Chicago cleaning up tonight. This is what it looks like after a tornado ripped through Naperville and Woodridge late Sunday. The tornado and storms destroyed about a dozen homes. 6 people were injured. 4 of them went to the hospital. More than 100 homes were damaged along a 3-mile stretch. And it is the first day of summer. Feeling a little more like spring or maybe even fall out there. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Breezy out there as well, Gary.
It is. And when you have those temperature changes, that's when you have severe weather. Fortunately for us, all the severe weather is down to the south. But I'm very familiar with that area where the tornado went through. These are some of the storm reports from last night. My godfather, my uncle and aunt lived literally a half-mile north of where that tornado passed in Woodridge. But you can see the damage reports from Naperville through Woodridge over toward Burr Ridge. But that's part of a larger area of severe weather that started in eastern Iowa, moved through northern Illinois and into northern Indiana, Michigan, and northwestern Ohio, but pretty much bypassed southern Wisconsin. We had clouds and some light rain during the day yesterday. That kind of stabilized the atmosphere and kept storms from forming here. Today we've had some cumulus clouds pop up. Nothing really in the way of precipitation other than a few sprinkles up in the northern portion of the state. But with those northwesterly winds, it really feels a lot cooler. In fact, right now temperatures are high temperatures only made it into the upper 60s. A few places hit the 70s south and east of Madison. Right now temperatures are mainly in the 60s. Here in Madison we've dropped already to 63 degrees. By tomorrow morning we'll be down to 46. So a chilly night with mostly clear skies. Tomorrow will be partly sunny, a little bit milder with high temperatures back in the lower 70s. We'll be around 80 on Wednesday and see some thunderstorm chances toward the end of the week. I'll tell you how much rain we can expect in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, thank you. A man accused of killing a man with an axe and attacking 2 other people in western Wisconsin now faces a first-degree intentional homicide charge. A judge set a $1 million cash bond for 36-year-old Thomas Aspseter today. Police say he killed 87-year-old Bernard Waite in Sparta on June 6th. 2 other people were hurt. One is still in the hospital. Aspseter shot himself in the chin with a .22 caliber rifle. Police say he had previously lived in the house with his grandmother and Bernard Waite before he was kicked out.
A family lost their home, but thankfully got out safely. This was in Middleton this morning. The fire happened about 3:40 in the morning on Bay Laurel Lane. That's out by Pioneer Park, west of the city. And crews say when they arrived, they saw flames in the garage. They quickly spread to the rest of the home. Neighbors saw the fire, helped wake everybody up. Crews say a bunch of reasons made this a tough fire to fight.
Wind, the fire getting a head start on us, this being a dead-end road, no hydrants. So the apparatus that we really would have liked to get in here requires a lot of water and space. We just don't have that here.
Well, no one was hurt. Initial damage reports show the fire caused about $700,000 in damage.
Across Wisconsin, over 45% of residents have completed their COVID vaccine series, while almost 50% have had at least one shot. That's nearly 3 million Wisconsinites. And in Dane County, over 62% of residents have completed the vaccine series. Over 68% have had at least one shot.
And as Wisconsin inches closer to the 50% fully vaccinated mark, many vaccinators are running into a new problem, and that is keeping enough but not too much vaccine on hand. Now, earlier in the rollout, there were so many people that wanted to be vaccinated, pharmacists didn't have to worry about wasting doses. 6 months in, the process of getting shots in arms has stayed largely the same, while the planning has changed.
Nowadays, it probably is really looking at your schedule and making sure you're scheduling enough people to use up vials, not specific doses, so you don't get in a scenario where you've got someone scheduled, but because you scheduled that one extra person, you have to open one vial and you've got extra doses.
Major chains like Hy-Vee are rolling out new features online to help make sure doses don't go to waste. We'll have more on that. How you can play a role as well in making sure doses get to the people who need them. Next hour, News 3 Now at 6.
Blackhawk Technical College is ramping down its COVID vaccine operations. The community clinic will not be opened on Wednesdays, but will continue to be open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is due to vaccine demand declining throughout the state. The site will be closed on or before July 17th.
Well, we still don't know how many people died or got severe cases of COVID at work during the pandemic in Wisconsin, but new records our investigative team tracked down show hundreds of employees complained about dangerous COVID job standards.
And as we return to our workplaces post-pandemic, advocates argue that OSHA needs a fundamental change to address infectious disease going forward. Investigative reporter Naomi Coles joins us now with more. Naomi?
OSHA still has no formal guidance for employers on how to prevent infectious disease outbreaks at work. That's because as an agency, they've largely focused on more concrete physical hazards and chemical issues. But advocates say this map behind me illustrates how badly a new standard is needed. Every dot is a COVID complaint about a dangerous workplace. There's almost 400 of them in total from just a 4-month window during the height of COVID in Wisconsin. OSHA was caught largely flat-footed during the pandemic. Historically, they've primarily dealt with chemical and physical workplace issues and have employer guidance for those issues. But there was no effective mechanism for enforcing COVID protocols, meaning very few businesses were fined or even inspected.
And OSHA needs to issue new guidelines for infectious diseases in general. Okay, because this COVID-19 we're hoping that we are at the end of this, but we don't know. We don't know what else is around the corner.
Now, going forward, advocates say this is one of the gaps left to be filled. That and making sure employees know they can call in sick when they don't feel well. Excuse me. At 10, join me for a special report breaking down those complaints, what the top issues were, and what advocates say are the solutions to safer workplaces for the next big health concern.
Good job, Naomi. You got through it. We'll see you tonight at 10. Madison College plans to have a relatively normal start to the school year in the fall. The college's president, Dr. Jack Daniels, says the vast majority of courses will be in person, but they will still be offering some classes online. Only about 20% of courses will be fully remote. He also says that for students coming back, they will not require a mask mandate, and vaccinations will not be required, but will be highly recommended.
The Supreme Court handed a unanimous victory to student athletes today, ruling the NCAA cannot limit education-related benefits. Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote, quote, "Put simply, this suit involves admitted horizontal price fixing in a market where the defendants exercise monopoly control. While the ruling does not decide whether students can be paid, it hints at a bigger debate about amateurism in college sports. The ruling focuses on how schools reimburse players for things such as computers, science equipment, and musical instruments."
What does this mean for student athletes moving forward, do you think?
A very different landscape.
Well, the NCAA defended its rules as preserving the amateur nature of college athletics. It noted in a statement, quote, "While today's decision preserves the lower court ruling, it also reaffirms the NCAA's authority to adopt reasonable rules and repeatedly notes that the NCAA remains free to articulate what are and are not truly educational benefits."
The White House continues to battle Congress over the president's legislative priorities, including a $1 trillion infrastructure plan and a voting rights bill. President Biden is launching a new round of negotiations over a new infrastructure proposal with lawmakers, expected at the White House this week. The latest bipartisan compromise plan comes in at about $1.2 trillion and has the backing of more than 20 senators.
President Biden, if you want an infrastructure deal of $1 trillion, it's there for the taking. You just need to get involved and lead.
When we deal with climate, when we deal with infrastructure, when we deal with home health care, when we deal with child care, we can create millions of good paying jobs.
Another big issue in focus this week, voting rights. The Senate is poised to bring legislation to the floor this week, but it's unlikely to get very far. While the president's legislative agenda faces congressional gridlock, today the White House is promoting a new benefit that has already passed, the expanded child tax credit.
Going above and beyond what one local doctor is doing to make sure every person in southwestern Wisconsin is receiving medical care. That's just ahead at 5.
And we're just a few days away from the Eastern Conference Finals. What you can expect from Game 1 of the Bucks and Hawks Wednesday. That's in sports at 6.
And a big day to start the week for the markets. The Dow surging 587 points. The Nasdaq adds 111. The S&P added 58. We'll be right back.
Has the largest selection of in-stock Tempur-Pedic mattresses. And when you purchase one, you get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Relax, it's Steinhafels.
Looking for a health plan that gives you more? Eye Care members receive up to $1,200 per year in over-the-counter benefits to buy thousands of products, in-store or delivered right to your door for free. Rest easy. Eye Care is looking out for you and your health.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand, and people are taking it everywhere. Taking Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with Silverado. Whatever you do, there's a perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy and get 0% financing for 72 months on select popular Chevy SUVs. Or get a $3,000 cash allowance on all 2021 Silverado Crew Cab pickups.
It took us years to find the perfect bun for Culver's Pretzel House Pub Burger. It's got the nice pretzel flavor on the outside, but when you open it up, it's light and airy. Got a nice sweet flavor to it. It literally melts in your mouth.
This bun is perfect for a Pretzel House pub burger. Seared fresh beef, tangy mustard bistro sauce, pickled red onions, 2 slices of bacon, served with our signature cheddar cheese sauce.
This bun was made for this burger. This is perfect.
I think it's an awesome burger. Welcome to Delicious.
He's here! He's here! It's happening!
What can I get you, young man?
Free installation!
Coming right up.
Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Free installation. Plus, no interest for 1 year.
Free installation on windows, siding, and doors ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Download the Channel 3000 app today. Working while sick, no safety policies, COVID outbreaks. Hundreds of Wisconsin workers told the feds their workplaces were dangerous during the pandemic, but little was done to help.
It's startling to me how many industries experience this.
Naomi Cole shows you how deep this problem ran tonight at 10. When it comes to weather, only one thing really matters: accuracy.
Only one station can be the best.
News 3 Now. First Warn Weather has the most accurate forecast, according to Weather Rate.
Count on First Warn Weather for your most accurate forecast.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. A doctor in southwest Wisconsin is being recognized for going above and beyond her profession. Dr. Emily Jewell is a physician with SSM Health in Dodgeville. She grew up on a farm in southwest Wisconsin and knew from a young age that she wanted to help serve farmers. She said farmers have long hours, are usually underinsured, so she brings services to them on a bus. And because of her continued efforts, she received the Superhero of Medicine Award.
This award is really for the whole community coming together to take care of each other, and that is a superhero-like effort, and I am so happy to be a part of that. But it's not me, it's all of them.
It's you too, Emily. Congratulations. Along with the award, Dr. Jewell will donate to a nonprofit of her choice.
An investigation underway down in Alabama where a fiery multi-vehicle crash left 10 people dead, 9 of whom were children. These images showing the aftermath of Saturday's accident involving at least 17 vehicles on I-65, Butler County, Alabama. That crash killing the 9 children, 1 adult. The other victims, children between the ages of 3 and 17. They were all in a vehicle belonging to a ranch for neglected or abused children. And now funeral arrangements for the others are underway. This as authorities try to figure out what caused the crash.
COVID rules went out the window early this morning in England, with people jumping fences at the famous Stonehenge to celebrate this year's summer solstice. Despite the gloomy weather and the COVID restrictions, more than 100 people turned up. Normally, there are 30,000 revelers that cozy up to these ancient rocks during the annual festival. But for the second year in a row, COVID kept most people away. The tradition, rain or shine, goes back decades to welcome the longest day of the year.
Now let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather. Chief Meteorologist Gary Kinalte has your forecast, Gary.
Doesn't seem much like summer today. A cool day. Just a few sprinkles of rain up in northwestern Wisconsin, but just a cloudy and cool day, or generally partly cloudy and cool day today. Some sunshine mixed in. But the rainfall that we're expecting over the next couple of days primarily will stay to our southwest or to our northeast. We could see a couple of light showers or a thunderstorm tomorrow night into Wednesday. Our better chances for rain will come Thursday and Friday, and some of the longer range computer models are now showing some pretty healthy rainfalls out of that because the humidity levels will be higher. Heaviest rain will probably fall across Iowa down into Illinois, where there could be some severe weather. We could be looking somewhere between about a ½ and an1.5 inches of rain with some locally heavier amounts in the thunderstorms. But 3 things you need to know in the forecast. It'll be cool for tonight. Low temperatures will drop into the middle 40s. Highs tomorrow back in the lower 70s. A little milder than today, but still below normal for this time of year. Then temperatures will be back to around 80 by Wednesday and probably stay there for the foreseeable future. And as the humidity increases for Thursday and Friday, that's when we'll see the shower and thunderstorm chance chances increase. Meantime, Claudette back to a tropical storm. That was a system that dumped the heavy rain in Mississippi and Alabama and probably caused that traffic accident with all the fatalities that we just talked about earlier in the newscast. It's a minimal tropical storm. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity is north and east of the center of circulation, and the forecast is that it'll weaken into a tropical depression again as it goes into the cooler waters of the northern Atlantic Ocean. Temperatures are pretty cool through much of the Midwest right now. 60s across Wisconsin, 50s up to the north, 70s to around 80 to our south and west. They had triple-digit heat yesterday. In fact, compared to 24 hours ago, temperatures down by about 10 to almost 20 degrees through much of the central and southern Midwest. Dew point temperatures, though, are much lower. That's because the air has really dried out. The 60-degree plus dew points now south and east of the Ohio River. This dry air will allow temperatures to cool off for tonight, but also keep the chances for rain low, at least for the next couple of days. Upper level winds right now from the northwest, but that's just a temporary feature because notice the ridge of high pressure aloft starting to build. That pushes the jet stream northward. That's why the western part of the country continues to bake under that heat wave and the drought conditions. High pressure is located across Montana, most of the Midwest right now in a northwesterly wind flow, and that's keeping temperatures on the cool side. 50s up in the northern portion of the state, around 60 in Rhinelander, lower to middle 60s here in southern Wisconsin. Future track shows those clouds breaking apart tonight. Temperatures drop into the middle 40s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, highs in the lower 70s. Tomorrow night, an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm, although now the latest computer models try to keep those a little bit farther south and west of us. And then on Wednesday, just an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Temperatures reaching the upper 70s. But on Thursday, you start to see the showers and thunderstorms develop out to the west. We'll see those by the afternoon. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook still calls for below normal temperatures from here southward, but notice the growing heat to the west. And the other problem, drier than normal conditions, and that's from much of the country as we head through the second half of our 10-day forecast. 72 for a high tomorrow with partly sunny skies. Then look for a high of 79 on Wednesday. Again, a chance for a shower or thunderstorm Tuesday night. Slight chance on Wednesday. Better chances Thursday and Friday as humidity levels start to increase Thursday into Friday, and then maybe a shower or thunderstorm lingering into Saturday. The rain chances start to go down this weekend, and we see mainly dry weather for next week. Even though the humidity starts to go up at the end of the week, temperatures will be in the low to mid 80s. As we check out first warn traffic, seeing our usual delays on the construction zone in the Beltline. Westbound, we're seeing some delays around Fish Hatchery Road and Park Street. Eastbound, we're just seeing off and on delays from Verona Road over to Stoughton Road. Travel times right now just a little bit elevated, about 2 minutes above normal for the east and westbound traffic on the Beltline. If you're heading out of Madison, 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. A quick 16 minutes from Middleton to Sauk City on US 12. And downtown to Sun Prairie, I'll take you 17 minutes on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now first warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. The pandemic, it has been so challenging for so many, but especially our frontline workers. What officials are doing to help EMTs deal with the aftermath. Next at 5.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
I've smoked, I've drank coffee, I drink red wine. It makes my teeth darker. It doesn't make me feel good about myself. And using Power Swabs, it's made a difference.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like, you got to leave it on for 30 minutes, and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on, and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip in your mouth for 30 minutes.
I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth. The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm gonna gag or I'm gonna go play football.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth. With power swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Show off your white smile this 4th of July and call for your 5-minute solution. Order power swabs and receive 40% off the regular price. Yes, 40% off the regular price. Shipping is free. Plus, you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
Menards has what you need to create your ideal deck. Whether you're building a brand new deck with pressure-treated lumber or upgrading your existing deck with UltraDeck composite decking, Menards has everything you need. UltraDeck Fusion decking withstands scratches, stains, and fading. AC2 pressure-treated lumber is environmentally friendly and safe to use on any outdoor projects. Get 11% off all UltraDeck low-maintenance composite decking and AC2 pressure-treated lumber at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Hi, folks. Tuesday morning, we'll give you a sneak peek at this year's Parade of Homes.
And we'll update the rain chances in our certified most accurate forecast. Join us between 4:30 and 7 for News 3 Now this morning.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
When coronavirus was rapidly spreading across the U.S. in April and May of last year, paramedics in New York City responded to more than 7,000 calls a day.
Many in the city and other areas could not and have not been able to move beyond the trauma. Mola Lengi takes a closer look at the toll.
The calls kept coming, and EMTs like Deputy Chief A.J. Briones kept answering. Going as well. On the front lines of the COVID pandemic, what those EMTs saw is tough to shake.
We never had time to think. Once it started slowing down, that's when you actually had to worry.
Worry, he says, about the toll on paramedics' mental health.
PTSD is a rabbit hole. You get angry for no reason. You lose who you are.
Hail Mary, full of grace.
Eileen Mandela was an ICU COVID nurse when she received a call that her 23-year-old son, John, an EMT, had taken his own life.
My son had dreams of a future, and that was taken by this pandemic.
John Mandela was fresh out of the EMT academy when the pandemic hit.
He was sent to the busiest 911 call volume in the city.
His mother says stress and anxiety consumed him.
I think that realization of, yeah, I'm here to save lives, but I can't save you. And I didn't realize how that affected me until very recently.
We sat down with John's partner, Delilah Woods, Shakira Tate, and Alexander Puska to talk about the mental health of EMTs.
There was definitely days where I didn't sleep. There was definitely days where I had dreams of people hanging themselves. I guess at one point I was having suicidal thoughts myself.
So I think we definitely do need a better support system that's in place for us first responders, not only just as or in EMS.
Does the FDNY have enough mental health resources in place?
I believe they have enough now, but to say that it's enough for forever, no. It's an ongoing process.
FDNY Lieutenant Crystal Hayes is an EMS peer support coordinator.
Would it surprise you to hear that some EMTs say that more resources are needed?
No, not at all. Sometimes people need more than what we can provide, and then we can either outsource them to somebody that can help them better than what the department can.
In Yonkers, New York, Deputy Chief Briones says the strongest thing someone can do is ask for help.
It's not a been there, done that attitude. It's I've been there, I know how to help you.
I want there to be more counseling made available. And my biggest hope is that no mother should ever feel the way that I do.
And if you need immediate help, call the 24/7 National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. It's 1-800-273-TALK. It's free and it's confidential.
And stay with us. We'll have a final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment.
It used to be that when you were healthy, you didn't have to think about healthcare.
You didn't care which doctors invented which treatment.
But now, things are different.
Now when you or someone close to you is sick, that's all you care about.
A doctor with answers. A medical team you can trust.
That treats you like
You're important.
UWHealth. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Struggling to get fresh air this spring? It's time for new energy-efficient replacement windows from Champion. Right now, every Comfort 365 window style is 40% off.
At Champion, we make buying new windows easy. Unlike some other companies, we control every step of the process. We design, build, install, and guarantee it for life.
Stay comfortable all year long and get 40% off all styles. Call now or download our free buyer's guide at getchampionwindows.com.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
This is the Tempur-Pedic Breeze, and its mission is to make sleep feel cool. So no more night sweats, no more nocturnal baking, no high blast ceiling fans, or polar ice cap air conditioner mode. Because the Tempur-Pedic Breeze delivers superior cooling from cover to core, helping you sleep cool all night long.
And right now, save $500 on all Breeze mattresses and get a free $300 gift. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it. You may think you're doing all you can to manage type 2 diabetes and heart disease, but could your medication do more to lower your heart risk? Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And Jardiance lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar.
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
We're committed to making Jardiance available and affordable. With our savings card, eligible patients pay as little as $10.
Coming up right here on the CBS Evening News, the tens of millions of Americans in the path of severe storms as Tropical Depression Claudette leaves more than a dozen dead, including 9 children. Plus, the Supreme Court ruling unanimously against the NCAA on compensating players. Does this open the door to paying college athletes? And at 97 years old, why a decorated World War II veteran just returned to Marine Corps boot camp. That's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, Gary's here now. It's a little sweater weather out there.
Yeah, there's live view from the WISC Skycam. Mix of sun and clouds, but temperatures are only in the lower 60s. Not too warm for the first day of summer. And look for a low temperature tonight of 46, a high tomorrow of 72. But as temperatures warm up, we'll see some thunderstorm chances at the end of the week. Then next week looks mainly dry and warm.
Yeah, I thought it was over, Gary. I thought we were already heading to fall.
Sorry.
We'll warm up soon. All right, we'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.